Alright, chat, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Today, I would like to talk about something that I don't think I've ever actually made a YouTube video on. This is something that I did a few years ago, 3 years ago now. It's crazy. But this is actually one of my kind of proudest achievements, not gonna lie. I'm just gonna leave the audio off. So, every so often, I get into this kick where I need to play a Bethesda game, whether it's like Fallout, Skyrim, something like that. And I remember I revisited Fallout 4 to play the DLC, and one of the DLC was called the Contraptions DLC, where you could add production equipment into the game, which was actually really crazy to me because I work at a food production plant as a fill line operator. So my job is actually to set up and run food production lines. So to get a DLC where that's the whole, you're just setting up manufacture, was so fascinating to me, and I just absolutely loved it. So I set up this plant where basically I'm taking the Vault-Tec lunchboxes, and that right there is a builder on the left that's creating lunchboxes. I'll position my character right about here with a ripper. I would then put a hair elastic around the controller so that the triggers, so that it's just my character sitting there with the ripper just over the belt, and it would, as the lunchboxes go by, it just constantly opens them up. First sorter takes the steel loot, puts it back to the builder. Other loot goes to that storage unit. The open lunchboxes go to this other storage unit, which is then pulled from 4 different chutes. So 4 lunchboxes per second is getting pulled out of there and put back onto the line, forming an infinite loop. And with that and the water purifiers, I was able to produce, I think it was something like 6 to 8,000 caps per hour, something like that, maybe more. And this is in survival, hardcore, or yeah, survival. So hardcore difficulty. You gotta eat, drink, but like the thing is, it's producing loot out of thin air. So it's just like I just kept getting money and just buying new stuff, and like I have vendors set up below the where this is all set up. So I just have to take the loot, drop down, and I can sell it to the vendors. When the vendors run out of money, you just hit the bed for like 36 hours and it resets. And so the reason I have this separator right here is the elevator. The storage units and sorters can only work so fast, and so I needed to create 2, and the elevator works a little bit slower than the sorters, so I had to create a timer, so it's like 60/40. So it took some finagling, and there's no rails available in the game, so there's always, because weird physics, no matter what, you end up with like Vault-Tec lunchboxes on the floor and just weird. But like for the most part, it was pretty much perfect. Like this is the largest settlement in Fallout 4, and I maxed out the build space on just this setup. So like I think this is kind of like the ideal infinite loot generator in Fallout 4. And like this isn't, I made a video about this. This isn't, what I wanted to talk about, but when I was doing this, I discovered some interesting things about the Vault-Tec lunchbox that I never really talked about. I kind of mentioned it in here a little bit, but the faces found inside the Vault-Tec lunchboxes, I actually figured out the answer to it. So when you open them up in Fallout 4, there's this face, and there's this face. And then there's all of these different names that are found on the lunchboxes throughout the game. And it was so funny, I had all these crazy theories about what it could be. Like I thought maybe it was some sort of like puzzle, or like you had to collect all of the lunchboxes to discover something. I thought maybe it had to do something like, Nuka-Cola sending kids to like the moon or something like. And I ended up finding it, going through the wiki. I found a link to one of the developers' Instagram, and I went back to around 2015 when the game was released, and I found this post. So this is Mark Tier. I worked as an artist with Fallout 4, posted this on his Instagram. And there they are. There's his children. Um, there's his post from the game. So I actually emailed him, reached out to him, just asking for permission to post this information because it's like personal information. And he gave me permission. And not only that, he also gave me a couple additional Easter eggs. In Fallout 76, when you open the balloons, they make either a Z or an S, which are like his kid's initials. And then their initials are carved into the base that holds up the balloons at the beginning of the game. There's like a wooden stand that holds some balloons, and there's like a Z and S carved in there. So that was really cool. Like I had all these crazy, but I kind of knew that there was probably the simplest explanation, which is that it was like a developer's child. But it was just hard to tell because around that time period, a lot of those personal Easter eggs have been sort of outlawed for AAA games. It depends on the company. Sometimes they don't allow it. But then I also, in my research, I found the original inspiration for the Vault-Tec lunchbox cover art. As you can see here, the tree, the cloud, the church, very similar. But not only that, the back of it with the picnic scene, and then the designs on the side of the lunchbox are also very similar. So I think this is the original inspiration for the Vault-Tec's cover art. And then, but when I reached out to Bethesda, they were unable to confirm that type of information because I'm not sure exactly why, honestly. And so to commemorate it, I actually bought my own Vault-Tec lunchbox to commemorate the occasion. Because it's just meant a lot to me. It was just really cool. It was fun to do, a lot of research, a lot of interesting theories and ideas, but it ended up being the simplest solution, which was just, it was a developer wanted to leave his mark and do something for his children. So the drawing was done by his wife, and it is of his two children. And then the other names on the lunchboxes are names from other developers' children. And so here I basically have like 100 pages of notes, and most of them are like going around the map and finding all of them. So much like just like investigating theories and like going through the map. I really thought it was related to like Nuka World because they had the Nuka Vault-Tec lunchboxes, and when you do the quest in Nuka World, in the room where you get like the head, there's all three lunchboxes on a table. So it just felt like this. There's some sort of like puzzle or like Easter egg here, but no, I don't think so. I think it was so hard to tell the Easter eggs in Fallout 4 because there was just a lot of cut content in that game. There was a lot of mysteries, and so like people were looking for underwater stuff, and they confirmed, oh, we cut all the underwater stuff, so don't worry about this. And oh, okay, that's cut content. Lunch pail, and that was cool. They had a lunchbox and they had a lunch pail. All right. So yeah, it was just it was an interesting time, and I actually got to add it to the official Fallout wiki. If you go to the Vault-Tec lunchbox page, under behind the scenes, this was added here, and it actually links to my notes. So that takes you to my notes. So that's something I did a couple of years ago. Because I've always just been fascinated with video game Easter eggs. I remember like back in the day trying to get, like the Scarab gun on Halo 2. It took like so long to figure out how to get it, but it was so cool. It's so rare to find an Easter egg for the first time. Like millions of people played Fallout 4 over the course of like 6-7 years, And I was like, what is that? And nobody knew. And like the reason is because the answer was found outside of the game. You know, like normally you wouldn't go through developers' social medias, and I don't. I haven't really, but it's just it was on for some reason. It was the only one that was like on the actual Fallout wiki. It was like linked somewhere. I was like, oh, what is this? And I found, oh, he was a developer. Well, let's see if there's anything. And there was. He posted a clue, and then he was super open and cool about it, which I think is really rare. I think, both for the most part, developers are kind of like have that professional distance, and like that's good for sure. Like, but it just makes it a little tricky trying to figure out like Easter eggs or puzzles. And like I think that certain developers are cool about that. Like with Call of Duty Zombies, like Jason Blundell being able to actually like engage with the community, it makes that stuff more meaningful. Because otherwise, it's just kind of like shots in the dark, and it's hard to even tell if you solved it. You know, it's kind of like hunting for buried treasure or like a unicorn, like because you don't even know if there's a real answer to it. So yeah, really kind of a unique kind of experience. I just don't know if I ever really like talked about it. But also I got myself some Sunset Sarsaparilla at Costco, which came with a Sunset Sarsaparilla official bottle opener. I've never seen a twist off bottle opener, but that's cool. Pretty good, pretty good. And then I also found this at Marshalls. Found a little Call of Duty Zombies monkey bomb. It like holds your controller. Got it for like $10. I'm like, hell yeah. How rare is that? A Call of Zombies collectible? I'll take it. I'd love to get like the Wonder Waff. That'd be cool. It's like a couple $100 or something. And then like those Pit Boys that you can get. Uh, they did like the. Wait, what? Yeah, like the statue they did. That'd be pretty badass. That'd be badass though. And then also I didn't realize this till today, but I was going through. We were like going through stuff, and I have a Chimera wand from back in the day, from years ago, that I kept, made by the Wand Company, and I looked it up on their website, and I found these are the same guys that made the Pit Boys. I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know, I'm not huge into like Pokemon or Star Trek or whatever that is, but I would buy it. I think these are both really cool. It's just a little out of my price range for a collectible. I don't normally spend that much on something that's just gonna like sit on my shelf. You know what I mean? Like it is pretty cool. I've always loved those like video game special editions that you get where you get like the Pit Boy, they had the Fallout 4 special edition. They had like the Black Ops. You know what was it? Black Ops 1 that came with the RCXD. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, I'm not huge into collectibles. I just have like a few collectibles. I like the quality of the die cast stuff. It was good. This is a good company.
Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested, and we're here in Adam's
Oh,
workshop
Tested
with
is
a
great. I
very
like the
special
show.
guest back in the studio, Chris Bernardo from the Wand Company. Chris, welcome back. If you've probably seen these videos in the past, Chris is, of course, Wand Company, purveyors of incredible prop replicas, collectibles from the worlds of Fallout. Favorite things to team put into the whole thing, and you're here to share some of that joy.
Good spring.
a tricorder, kind of like a phaser, in that every iteration of the franchise
brings something to it.
Exactly.
It really does, and it evokes a kind of a memory of those games that you really loved, or if it's a tricorder, the episodes, the series that you loved. So yeah, and it's a rich vein that we can tap into.
Well, interestingly, for the One Company, you guys, your journey through the Pip-Boys has been non-linear. Right, you went through Fallout 76.
Weirdly, we're working our way backwards.
Right? The TV
indeed.
show, which is a derivative of the games, but bespoke, made based on the hero prop that was used, and that show had its requirements. This is from Fallout 3, arguably one of the most popular of the Fallout games.
Yes, I think so. So it will be longer than that, and there's every chance.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, for the most part, I don't really go for that stuff. And then I think I saw a Pip-Boy that someone, like a fan Pip-Boy you could buy that looked pretty good, actually. But yeah, and you know what's so funny? I got in such a Fallout kick. I literally got so burnt out on Fallout, and then the Fallout TV show came out, and I haven't even seen it yet. Because I just wanted to wait until I just got in that vibe again, so I needed to take a break. This is just how I am. Actually, no.
Things. Many a deer have to fall. Crazy things. Unnatural things. In the game. But good people? No.
That girl I met.
All in the wonderful game. I would be a good person too if I grew up in some cozy little impenetrable home. I would steal and stab and fib all the goddamn time just to get by.
What exactly is it you plan on doing once we find your daddy?
Gonna bring him to justice. People know that how they conduct themselves matters. They don't give up hope.
The stuff we fight for, the story has it you used to believe in those things too.
I wish I had for 200 years. I've kept myself alive for one reason. To find my family.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming.
I understand we're discussing a civil war. I must not have gotten my invitation.
We're actually beginning to get along.
Try again.
So this is Vegas, huh? I'd ask why my dad ran into a den of monsters, but he'd probably just tell me to shut the fudge up.
Alright, that was pretty good. I think I might have to watch the Fallout TV show. I've been sleeping on it. I mean, it's right there.
Max, no!
I think I watched the first couple episodes mean, I just like, I don't know, it's just, I get like, I play something so much and I get so tired of it, but I'm just like, I just hope that will grow with me. You're a
He's just a damn kid.
Oh, if he's a kid, oh hell, if he's an adult.
Come on! Let's take back our town.
The crazy thing
I'm not
is,
doing
he's
that.
just a kid. He's definitely like not a kid. That's badass.
Huh.
Oh shit. It's like the Vegas trailer. See, I feel like they are kind of nailing with this show. It looks right. It sounds right. The writing, the dialogue, like it all adds up. They did a really good job with this. This looks great. I gotta catch up. So I gotta finish season 1 and watch season 2.
We got it from here. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
That's funny. Damn, that's cool. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share. With the Easter egg. Yeah, it's very rare. It's very rare to find an Easter egg for the first time. People, these types of games, people really kind of comb through them and look through every single detail and. But it's I love the sense of mystery and how it makes you wonder, like, oh, what is that? What if that could be there? And it's just there's so many people. It's like the odds of being the first one. But I think it's always good to play through a game before looking at the guide, so you have the chance of like stumbling on something before you go straight to the Easter egg guide. Because sometimes you do figure stuff out on your own, and it's just cool. Like when I played like Ashes of the Dam on Black Ops 7, I like discovered like the Tomahawk mini game just organically. It's just they put clues out and it made sense, and I found it. Boom, and like that's good game design. So they're starting to figure it out. I just don't. I hate when you have to look at like a cheat, like an answer key, or like a guide or some sort of Like when I'm playing like Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 or like Skyrim, I don't think I really ever had to look at a guide. It was always made sense. It's like, okay, this is what I gotta do. So I don't know. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I think I'm gonna end it here.